Hey, so thank you for this comment. I love this comment, and I get comments like this a lot from you guys asking about my voice and voice training tips and things like that. So I'm going to tell you how to get your voice to sound more deep and resonant. So one of the main things you want to do to achieve this is to talk down through your chest and through the back of your throat. So when you're talking, you should feel vibration here and a little bit in your chest. So you feel it down here, right? Whereas if you're not talking like this, then you're going to feel more light. You're going to feel your voice more up here, but we want to get it down into this range, right? So when you talk like this, you should feel some more vibration in your throat. So if you're feeling more vibration down here than you are when you're talking up here, then you're probably doing it right. Another important thing about this that no one really talks about is the way that you shape your words, right? Because when you talk, you want to have really wide voice, right? Like you want to have your mouth like this, because that helps to let out a lot more of that deep sound of your voice. Whereas if you're talking wide, like if you're talking like this, then it's going to sound a lot more up here and nasally, and you're not really going to feel it down here. But when you talk more down like this, you're feeling and hearing a lot more of that resonance. So keep that mouth open and stretched the long way, not the wide way, because there's a big difference between ah and ah. And by the way, this is not me forcing my voice. I am not doing anything unhealthy. This doesn't hurt. It's just me learning how to talk using my voice in a different way until it becomes more second nature. I hope that helps.
Great question, and no, I'm not on testosterone, nor have I ever took testosterone. I do voice training, and no, I don't see any, professionals for this. I've been doing it for a few years, looking at YouTube videos, all types of stuff like that. But I can tell you my method in lowering my voice and how I've been training my voice. So, how I do this voice training is I open the back of my throat like I'm going into a yawn. And as soon as you have it opened and you feel more space in the back of your throat, you slide down as low as you can possibly go to the bottom of your range, and then you can play around with that, and eventually it'll get better and it'll sound more natural. Your natural voice won't start getting deeper right away, but over time it'll progressively get deeper.
Honestly, this isn't a dumb question. It took me 3 to 6 months for my voice to get deeper, but what really helped speed up the process was singing along to singers with deeper voices than me. I totally recommend singing along to anything by Bauhaus, She Wants Revenge, Swans, and The Damned. It helped me discover how it feels to target my deeper voice, which I would then practice targeting that lower register when I would normally talk. Not gonna lie, it totally helped that my voice was already pretty scratchy and deep before I started HRT, so teaches helped enhance my voice.
So I'm sure that many of you have noticed that my voice is pretty deep for being pre-T, and it's actually because I've been doing vocal training since I was in the first grade. So I thought I would teach you some of those vocal exercises that I learned, mostly from the internet, but just kind of all around. The first thing you're gonna want to do is have a lot of breath support. So there's this exercise that a lot of choir kids do where it's you breathe in your diaphragm and then you shout hey. So that power is absolutely what you want to be speaking from. Second, you can hum in the middle of your range and then look up while holding that hum and then hold that for a few seconds and then move down the scale progressively. This will get tiring for your voice after a few minutes though, so make sure to have water on hand and don't overdo it. The next thing is to just copy the timbre and tone of artists that you like. So for example, I could sing, "Do I look lonely?" Or I could sing, "Do I look lonely?" And there's a difference in how masculine it sounds. But yeah, mostly just play around with it as if you're testing out character voices, and then you kind of just find it.
This is how to move a feminine voice to a male voice. Step 1. We're going to take a voice that's comfortable, not too high, not too low. Find a place that feels natural. I then want you to take this place, and I want you to put vocal fry on top of it. I want you to slow the rate of air down. You're going to start to notice the pitch start to fall. You're going to let this pitch kind of go down with the vocal fry. Eventually, you should end up somewhere right about here. Notice how the voice is still hanging on to this upper resonance, though. This is where space starts to come into play. You need to take this space and open it up just a little bit more. When that open space exists, the voice has a depth to it. Then you need to take this kind of sound and make it very monotone, more monotone than you think. Follow me for more tips.
This is how I talk normally before doing my vocal exercises. Do, 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 re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do, do. And this is what it sounded like after doing my vocal exercises, so, for any trans men that want tips, yeah.
Hey, great question. Yeah, I'd totally be down to elaborate on that. Best way I could describe this would be like if you're a singer or a musician, you play woodwind instruments, you know that you can use your voice and your breath in different ways. For example, if I'm singing, I can sing like this, ah, or I can sound like this, ah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you can tell the difference between the first and the second sound right away. The second sound has a lot more bass, which comes from your core, your lower diaphragm, or as I like to say, speaking or singing with your gut. So yeah, that's what I meant by push your voice down. It just means try to push your voice lower towards your core to get that bass. If I'm not trying, this is how my voice sounds. But when I am trying, the voice goes down like this. Okay, so you see how I'm pushing it down towards my core?
Are you transgender? How do you cough, sneeze, or laugh in the voice that you want? I'm Claire with the Seattle Voice Lab, and in today's lesson, we're going to be talking about reactionary sounds. So, all reactionary sounds come from the larynx, specifically what is known as the laryngeal folds, or the false vocal cords. So your larynx looks a little bit like this. The vocal cords kind of sit down here and the laryngeal folds sit up here. When your larynx moves higher, everything kind of moves up. And when it goes down, it goes the same way. The laryngeal folds, what they do is they collapse inwards like this and then they move outwards. When we cough or react to certain things, they collapse and pressure builds right here. So as long as the larynx is high, and we pulled that pressure right there, follow me for more tips.
I only have a minute, so I'm going to try to explain this as fast as possible. This is about my normal voice. It's a little bit lower because I did the demon boyfriend voice for like 5 hours yesterday. I started trying to train my voice at the beginning of November 2020. You can actually scroll back and see the video where I first do it. I'm going for a permanent voice change. I don't know what the effects of this might be, so try it at your own risk. First thing that you're going to do is you're going to hum for the lowest note you can hit and continue to hold that note for as long as you can. It starts to feel more comfortable. You're going to continue to hold that note while looking upwards. Side to side motion also helps. After a while, you're going to drop your head and try to hit a lower note. Repeat the process, practice it often. Next important trick is a little bit harder to explain. You're going to attempt to do the little bubbling at the back of your throat that you would do if you were trying to impersonate like a zombie or something. It's going to sound about like this. Just like you're humming, you're going to try to get the pitch of that lower and lower. I've only been doing this for about 2.5 months and I can already sound like this. And I'm getting deeper every day.
How do you create a more feminine inflection? Or a little androgyny? Or a little more masculine tone? There are 4 rules that make up gendered voices. I'll get to those at the end. I want to talk to you first about what you just saw. Did you notice my posture change? Did you notice my facial features relax? The 4 rules are important, but what surrounds those 4 rules are things like body language, posture, but most importantly, movement, or lack thereof. Inflection is movement. You have to start with that. Now, what are these 4 rules? Rule number 1 is diction. More often, women speak with a clearer, sharper tone than men. Rule number 2 is vowel elongation. More often, women elongate vowels more than men. Rule number 3 is tempo. Women alternate tempos, men stay at one tempo. Rule 4 is syllable separation. Follow!
I hate to break it to you, girlfriend, but my voice has literally always been annoying. It is a lose-lose situation here. Do you seriously want me to go around talking like a demented fucking valley girl?
Anyways, never doing that again.
First off, thank you very much. I've been training my voice for almost 5 months now. It's definitely paying off, but it takes a lot of work. You need to go slow, okay? And you can't speak deep all the time because you're gonna fry your voice, you're gonna damage it. There have been days when I've gotten a sore throat for a while because I was practicing too much and I was doing it wrong. Definitely practice talking like that because it helps stretch out your vocal cords. It makes your voice deeper no matter who you are, just by going backwards. I'm at the deepest, so it can't go any deeper when I move my head back. Talk from your chest. I'm sure you've heard chest voice before. It's just, you have to navigate your voice and find it. Because women and gay guys, like when you like the gay voice, typically talk from their head. And men or people with deeper voices talk from their chest, or at least their throat. Like I can feel the vibrations right here. It's like buzzing. So practice slowly and safely and have fun.
What's up, guys? I put this on 3 minutes, even though I probably won't need 3 minutes, but this is a quick little educational video on how pre-T, or even if you are on HRT, how you can just lower your voice. So yeah. Okay, one method that you can do is literally singing a song with a deeper voice. It could be any song. It doesn't necessarily have to be like rap or anything. As long as the artist that's singing has a deeper voice, you can sort of match their tone and also try to match like the high pitch and the low pitches that they do. Another method is you can hum. So you want to go as high as you can, so like, and then you want to lower it. You want to try to get as far as you can in your chest right here. You see how my voice just lowered? That's something that you can do. Another method that you can try out is by gargling like water, or just do water to be on the safe side, because you don't want to gargle like in your Listerine. So you'll get water, pour it in your mouth, and try to gargle as low as you can without choking yourself. That is also a good method that you can try out. But another tip is, if you're like me, my voice normally does sound like this at home and stuff, or in public or whatever. Like, this is the voice that I normally talk at. But what happens with us trying to train our voice to be lower and stuff is excitement. And it happens with even cis men. Don't even feel ashamed. It happens with cis men as well. But when you start to get excited, you start to raise your voice up like this, and then you start to be like, wow, that's crazy. Like, this is like how I would talk if I'm excited or something. But this is not the voice that I normally use. Like, this is not how I normally sound. I normally sound like this. This is normally how I sound at, like, if I'm not excited or if I'm just relaxing. So you gotta kind of train your brain to be like aware that, oh no, you're speaking at a high voice, like a high pitch, lower it again. And those methods that I gave you, those are something that you can honestly do. And yeah, there's also a really cool app that you can use to help keep track of what range of your voice is in, and I'm going to show you in a second. So here's the app that I've used ever since I was 16. Basically, it gives you something that you read. I normally just say a random few things, or I'll read like one of my books, and you record your voice, and it can show you what range your voice would be in. So yeah, these are tips on how to lower your voice pre-T or even on HRT.
You want to know the truth? So on my more popular videos, I get comments all the time that's like, I can't do it. Even with this technique or another teacher's technique or something else, I can't do it. My popular videos, and I bet you all the other teachers' popular videos, are the easy part of trans voice lesson. It's easy because you can do it. But that's not what's going to give you the voice that you're looking for. If you really want to learn your voice, it takes work. Hard work. It does not come overnight. Go to a trans voice teacher's TikTok Look at their videos. Look at the videos that don't have a lot of views. And those are the things that will take you to where you want to be. The popular stuff is the easy stuff. Everybody can do that. But you need to do what everybody else isn't. Follow me for more tips.
Okay, so right now I'm speaking in my natural speaking voice. Disclaimer, I know very little about the science of the human voice, so if any vocal pedagogues want to duet this and tell me what I'm actually doing, please go ahead. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to check where you feel that resonance when you're speaking in your natural speaking voice. For me, it's right here, right at the base of my head, sort of, like right behind my jaw. Okay, cool. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to add in just a little bit of vocal fry, okay? So you add in just that little bit of vocal fry, sort of right there. Don't add in too much. If you add in too much, then you're straining. A little bit of vocal fry, good. Just a little bit, right? And then remember where we felt that resonance. Try to always feel that resonance and then see if you can feel it lower in your body. Try to feel it in your chest. And if you feel that resonance in your chest, then you're not going too low as long as you can still feel that resonance, sort of. When you stop feeling that resonance, you've gone too low and it's going to sound unnatural and you're straining your voice. I hope that helps, maybe?
Hello, I'm Elliot, I am a trans guy, and I'm making this random ass video to talk about my voice. Obviously I'm no expert, I'm pretty, I haven't even been taught how to do this. I'm just going off of what has worked for me, and it's not that big a difference. However, if you keep doing it, then you will keep going lower. So if you want this advice, keep watching. Now, I think my voice used to be, I think it used to be around here, but now it's down here, which I could never get to this tone before. And how I did it was just singing songs. I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning I did listen to Corpse, and I don't think that was the best because obviously that can probably ruin your voice if you try to do that too hard and too long. So maybe don't do what I did, maybe try and gradually go down. But yeah, once you get to the stage where you feel like you're matching with the singer, like the tone, then you know that you succeeded and you can either leave it as that or you can keep trying to go lower. So do with that advice as you will. Also, I'm not gonna lie, it does put a strain on your throat when you're first going low. So if I try to go deeper than I can, then I feel a strain, kind of hurts. It also makes me feel like I'm gonna yawn all the time. Yeah, good luck if you're gonna try it. I hope the best for you.
If you want to change the gender presentation of your voice, you need to understand resonance. Resonance is determined by the size of your vocal tract when you're speaking. The takeaway that I want you to have from this video is you need to learn to train your ears. So let's do that. Watch my hands, listen to the sounds. This hand is going to be resonance and it's going to start here because my throat size is smaller than my baseline. This hand will be pitch. Let's change pitch first. La, 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 cool. Now let's change the resonance. La, notice that the pitch is the same. La, now let's change the pitch on this resonance. This is like my baseline resonance. La, 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 la. Now let's make the resonance really dark. La, 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 la. So if you're here and you want to feminize, just go hello, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you're here and you want to masculinize, hello, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's up, friends? If you want a deeper voice but don't have access to hormones or don't want to go on hormones, watch this video. I've seen a lot of voice. I tuck my chin into my neck and I push my voice down into my body. So there's only so much that I can go before it starts sounding strained or unnatural. The biggest factor is to sound natural, and that also depends on your age. So say if I'm 17 versus 26, I'm not going to have the same voice. Sounding too forced or too deep can get you clocked a lot easier than just keeping your natural voice.
For everyone who's starting out testosterone or is planning on starting testosterone and you're a singer, this video is for you.
So as a singer, I was always looking for videos of guys who were starting testosterone who would like kind of show their voice journey, and I saw a lot of people showing sort of pre-T and then like a lot of time on T, but I didn't see a lot of like that awkward like middle stage where people are like a couple months in and having those really awful voice cracks. So I'm here to show some of that to you. But that's a really great point right now, where every time I go from my chest voice into my head voice, it sounds like this. Someone catch a grenade for you. You know you love me. You know you care. Your head voice will sound pretty fine at this point, although you won't be able to sing like very loudly. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to strain a lot, but it is still possible. If you give me all the money, controlling is really difficult. Your chest voice, however, is going to develop really strong, really solid, and it'll be really, really easy to sing lower. I ruled the world with these hands, I shook the heavens to the ground. I laid the gods to rest. But yeah, if you have questions about being on T and singing, let me know in the comments.
Are you a trans person looking to improve your voice? Well, what are the things you need to be focusing on? What actually matters and what doesn't? That's this video. In case you didn't get your copy of the trans agenda, it's important that you know trans people are in the Illuminati. Our voice is made up of 3 things. I like to call it the trifecta: air, resonance, and register. Without any of these, well, we don't have a voice. I like to think about this chart when I work with my students because it kind of identifies when a student is doing too much or too little of one thing or the other. So what do these things actually do then? Well, simply put, lower voices require less airflow, higher voices require more airflow. The resonance of the voice is made up of 3 chambers, R1, R2, and R3 being the lips. And the register of the voice is pretty much the vocal fold thickness, how thin or thick those vocal cords are. So let's say I'm coming to voice training like this, right? And I want to prioritize my resonance. Well, in this voice right here, the resonance, except for R1, is doing pretty good. But what's missing here is the register. We need to thin those vocal cords out just a little bit. And then notice how we're still kind of hanging into a heavier space. I need a little bit more airflow to sort of like encompass and surround this sound. What if I'm coming to voice training like this? Well, I have way too much airflow, so I need to bring in a little bit of the resonance and then allow the register to sit slightly higher to sort of balance everything out. If you're liking where this is going, feel free to check out my other videos. I'm gonna continue getting a little more in depth here. So when we think about actually using these systems, the airflow is everything below the glottis, the register itself is kind of the glottis, and the resonance is everything above it. This is our subglottal pressure and our supraglottal pressure. When we start to influence our resonance, we tighten everything up, and in turn we need to push more airflow through. The glottis, or the vocal cords, are responsible for sort of like balancing these systems. As the airflow is coming from below and it becomes really, really heavy and fast, that glottis likes to float at a higher position. If we have too much pressure from above, well, that glottis likes to be pushed down. This is also where tension can develop, and if we have tension in the voice, we are never going to have a natural sounding voice. As you work through voice training, you need to be aware that the voice should feel comfortable, it should feel easy, and if you notice tension, one of these 3 things is amiss. Follow me for more tips. I'm Claire Michelle with the Seattle Voice Lab. I'll be here all day or week.